Good evening, horror and chaos be to you in the name of Runie Ruse. Now, lunatics, welcome one another as I shall welcome you. Hi, hi. Hello, everybody. Hi, hi. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hey, thank you. Thank you for a whole month of membership. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Mwah, mwah. Hi, hi. Good evening. Yes, good evening. Good evening. Can't wait to hear you talk about Thriller Bark. It's one of my favorite pre-time skip arcs. One of the best Robin designs, Perona, a great Usopp fight, and Kuma. I was surprised it even needed defending until your tweet reminded me of what Inaki said. Listen, it's not just Inaki. I'm surprised. Not surprised. I'm grateful that it seems like a lot of people are excited for this stream and we're like already on board. Like, yeah, Thriller Bark's great and I love it. Because I have definitely seen a lot of really low rankings for Thriller Bark as far as One Piece arcs go. I feel like it either kind of gets forgotten or people just kind of think of it as like, oh, Moria, he was lame. I didn't like Moria, and I didn't like Shadow Luffy, and yeah, I see a lot of criticism of that. And I'll also never forget when my coworker started getting into One Piece as I demanded. And then they told me that they were like, I'm really enjoying Thriller Bark, but my teenage son saw that I was on Thriller Bark and was like, oh, worst arc in the entire series. Wow. And they were like, I don't get it. I'm having a good time. I was like, you can't listen to 13-year-olds, okay? They don't know what they're talking about. Thriller Bark is goated, okay? Listen to me. You're a fellow adult. I know what I'm talking about. Wow. I love Thriller Bark. It definitely has flaws. I won't say that it doesn't have flaws. And you know what I think it is too? I think something unique about Thriller Bark is that I think it goes full in on some of the more exaggerated, comedic, cartoony, B-movie style type of comedy and exaggeration that Oda does sometimes. It really, I mean, it just hits the ground running with it and does, I mean, a lot of the arcs are like this, but this one in particular is very much so like this. And so people who like One Piece, but that's not really why they like it, people who like One Piece kind of in spite of that are probably not going to vibe as much with Thriller Bark, but you guys know me, I love that kind of thing, so I'm all in on Thriller Bark. But regardless, we're just gonna talk about it today. We're just gonna talk about why I like it and the cool things that happen in it. And don't worry, I'm gonna be going through a pretty thorough summary of the events of Thriller Bark. So if you're not a One Piece fan and you don't really know what's happening in this arc, or if it's just been a while, you know, it came out a long time ago and you don't really remember, I'll be refreshing your memory. Yes, this will be full of spoilers. I'm not holding anything back. Well, that's not true. I'm gonna try to hold back and be very vague for recent chapters, because there are quite a few relevant things in Thriller Bark to stuff that's going on right now in One Piece manga. And I'll try to be very vague and non-specific with those things, so I'm not really spoiling anything. But as far as like for what happens in Thriller Bark, we're full spoilers here. So if you really want to enjoy it for yourself and you haven't yet, I do recommend, you know, watching a different one of my streams, and you can come back to this one after you've read it for yourself. Thank you for the art you commissioned. It's so cute. Perfect for wallpaper. Enjoy your Yap session. Thank you. I was so happy with how it came out. I love being surrounded by piranhas. I've got 2 piranhas with me in that picture. It's amazing. I have 2 piranhas in the illustration, and then I have real piranha right here. Real piranha. Is it weird for you guys to see her on my right instead of my left? She's not usually on this side, is she? Yeah, is it a little weird? Happy day before Hallows Eve. Yes, happy day before Hallows Eve. Speaking of, we have a big stream tomorrow and I still have setup to do. So I'm gonna try to keep this one not too long. You guys, the longer I yap, the later I will be up. But I really like this arc and I really like One Piece, and I feel like it's actually been a really long time since I've done a full One Piece yap, you guys. I've been reeling it in, okay? I've been making my managers really proud by not like just every day yapping about One Piece, okay? It's been a while, but I'm gonna try not to go too off the handle. I finally got Starlink, so now I can watch this evil woman in HD. Let's go! Do I look pretty? Am I beautiful in HD? I had a terrible nightmare that tomorrow is the last day of Roostober. Well, it kind of is just a nightmare because we still have to watch Never Let Go. And on Saturday, even though it's November 1st, we will be doing our Black Rose Lounge stream. So I'm excited for that. We'll do the Black Rose Lounge, and then we will I don't know if, never mind. I don't know if the information is out yet. Maybe something else is happening exciting. Okay, raid into him. Okay, you guys knew what I was talking about. Does she already have the waiting room post? I panicked for a second and was like, I don't know if she has it posted yet. Oh, okay, yeah. Then we will raid. We'll raid into Wimmy's birthday stream. It's up. Let me make sure I got the right time for it. Too. Because I thought she was going to do it earlier in the day, and then I think it was later in the day, but it was still late enough that my stream should be okay. But I definitely don't want to overlap her. Oh, 11 p.m.? Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. We're so good. So we have a time limit. You guys are gonna have to help me out. Don't get too drunk, okay? Don't get too drunk, okay? we go from 6 to 11. You have, at least one of you has to stay sober so you can keep me on track. I actually think it'll be easier for me than normal because I'm not a huge shots person to begin with, so. An amazing 21 months of Runie Roos, couldn't be happier. Now I'm ready to see what anyone could possibly have against Thriller Bart. People rank Inaki ranking it lower than Long Ring Long Island just took me out when I saw that. It took me out, you guys. I mean, I like that arc. I feel like I'm more likely to defend it than most. I've gone on the defense for my guy Foxy before. I think it's fun. It's a fun little arc. Wow. It's refreshing in between two more stressful arcs. I had a good time with it. I like the interactions with the crew, but it just does not compare to Thriller Bark. It just doesn't compare, as you will agree by the end of this. Surely, it just does not compare to Thriller Bark, man. It just doesn't compare. That's how I felt about that. Let me make sure. Did I miss? Thank you for the gifted, Jill. Thank you. Happy Thursday, Runie. I always love hearing your thoughts on things like this. You're so passionate about it, and it's so much fun to listen to. We're gonna get passionate today. So I reread everything, and I cried like multiple times trying to reread Thriller Bark. I get so emotional. I just think it's really good, and I like it a whole bunch, man. And yeah, exactly. It has a lot of really fun parts in it, in my opinion. So, and we're gonna go through it, but first we're gonna do like a little summary refresher of Thriller Bark. Hats off to the designated drivers tomorrow. It's not tomorrow, it's Saturday. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Tomorrow is wow. A 3D concert, yes. I paused for effect, not because I forgot. Thank you. Yep. Exactly that. Can't say but have fun with your cope stream. It's not a cope stream! Thriller Bark freaking rocks, okay? How dare you call it a cope stream and then immediately run away? That's why you're running away, because you know that if you stuck around, you'd end up seeing it my way. You're afraid of my powers, okay? You're afraid of how I can convert you into a Thriller Bark enthusiast. So yeah, run away with your tail between your legs, cowering. I know what you are. You're a future Thriller Bark stan, that's what you are. If only you'd get the courage to watch my stream. Long ring, long landed soup. Stop! Now you guys are you're just antagonizing me, Mariam. You're antagonizing me. Okay. Let's go through the summary. The crew is settling into the Thousand Sunny when they get caught in a sudden storm. Thanks to Nami's navigation, they make it out safely, but find themselves in the eerie Florian Triangle, a sea where ships often vanish. While discussing rumors of ghosts, a decrepit ship drifts alongside them, carrying a talking skeleton dressed like a gentleman. The crew is stunned, but Luffy immediately asks him to join their crew, and the skeleton, named Brook, accepts without hesitation. There he is, there's Brook. Aboard the Sunny, Brook explains that he's alive thanks to the revive fruit. His soul returned to his body after death, but it took so long to find it that only his skeleton remained. However, he has no shadow or reflection. His shadow was stolen years ago, and now he can't survive in sunlight. He withdraws his earlier acceptance to join the crew, to Luffy's dismay, especially when it's revealed that Brook is a musician. Luffy insists on helping him regain his shadow, but Brook warns that it's too dangerous. He's not a vampire! Listen, the fact he's a skeleton and the reflection thing they're two completely different circumstances. This is why I love One Piece so much. You can never know what's coming next, because you meet a talking skeleton, you're like, who the heck is this guy? He doesn't have a reflection, he doesn't have a shadow. Oh, that has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that he's a skeleton. Okay, Oda, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Yes, finding a musician for the crew has always been on the priority list for Luffy at this point in the story. He wanted one more than a doctor. So he still doesn't have a helmsman at this point, but he's always been looking for a musician. So I also had the pleasure of, when I read the manga, I hadn't been spoiled for who all became a Straw Hat. So at this point, I was like, there ain't no way the skeleton's joining the crew. That's crazy. The way that I didn't believe it at all whatsoever. But Brook very quickly won me over throughout the arc, as I'm sure those of you experiencing like the story for the first time, he'll win you over. Okay, Brook is MVP. Brook is so cool. I love Brook. One Piece, I thought this was about tree bark. One Piece is about everything. That's why you should like it. That's why they call it One Piece. It's one piece of everything. I don't know a darn thing about One Piece, but I am a Thriller Bark truther. Gum fruit can't melt steel beams or something. What are you on about? Wait, there's people who hate Thriller Bark? Yes! There are haters out there. I mean, One Piece is so big, there's haters for every arc. Honestly, Perona existing elevates Thriller Bark. Yes! We'll get to Miss Perona. We'll get to Miss Perona, my ghost princess. Suddenly, a ghost appears on the Sunny. The crew realizes they've been captured by Thriller Bark, a massive floating island that had been following them since they opened a mysterious barrel earlier. Brooke warns them to flee and runs off, presumably to reclaim his shadow. I feel like I summarized this poorly. So basically they found this floating barrel on the sea and they were like, oh, what's this? And they take it on board the ship and they open it up and a signal flare bursts out of it. And basically this is a trap that the Thriller Bark crew has set. They see people open the barrel, they know that a pirate ship is out there, they go track them down. And you'll get more details about how it's both an island and a boat later. But yes, Thriller Bark is a boat and also it is an island. It is, I believe, to this day, the biggest boat in all of One Piece. My Oshi isn't a tree bark enthusiast? I thought this was supposed to be a bark stream. Scammed. How do you know it's not gonna become that? You have no faith in me. Can you please just keep watching, please? I don't wanna hear your complaints until I press end stream, okay? If by the time I've ended stream, I have not satisfied you with my bark yapping, then you may complain in my comments. And while you're doing it, hit the like button and the subscribe button and the share button. Thank you. Mwah. Luffy, determined to explore the island, unveils Frankie's new mini-boat, the Mini Mary. Nami, Usopp, and Chopper take it for a test run, but accidentally crash onto the island. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew is attacked by an invisible creature. On shore, the trio is chased by a three-headed dog before meeting a strange man named Hilden, who offers to take them to his master, Dr. Hogback's mansion. The zombie designs are so cool. There's also a really funny gag that I didn't put in here, but the Cerberus, one of the heads is a fox, and it's Usopp and Nami and Chopper. They're running away from it. I think it's Chopper. Chopper's like, because you hear like bark, 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 and then like yip, yip, yip. And Chopper's like, wait a minute, one of those heads isn't even a dog. One of those heads is a fox. And then the fox head gets really offended. It's like really embarrassed that they called him out for being a fox. And then Cerberus starts chasing after them even harder. And they're like, you made him mad. You shouldn't have pointed it out, stupid. It's so good. Yeah, I really like the Cerberus design. All the zombie designs are really, really fun. Thriller Bark Stream, can you explain the giant shadows at the end of the arc in the Florian Triangle? Wait, was that at the end of the arc? I thought the giant shadows were before they went to Skypiea, right? The Skypiea shadows? Am I getting it mixed up? I'm right. All right. Chopper, a fan of the famous Dr. Hogback, is eager to meet him, but after witnessing several bizarre events, the trio decides to return to the shore instead. Hilden agrees, but vanishes, leaving them stranded in a graveyard, where zombies suddenly rise and chase them toward the mansion. So we're already getting vibes that something spooky's going on, because Hilden pretends to be helpful, and then he ends up forcing them to go to the mansion, even when they want to turn around. And it's the three weakest crew members stuck on the island at this point, so they're all really, really freaking out. Dr. Hogback's design is so stupid. Now, I hadn't gotten to Impel Down yet, so when I saw Dr. Hogback's design, I was like, oh, this is some Frankenfurter, what's that musical called? Vibes, right? Oh my gosh, it is! It's like Eggman meets Dr. Frankenfurter. With the fishnet top. Yeah, Rocky Horror. Yeah, Rocky Horror Picture Show, it's very crazy. But then there's another character who's even more that later. So I don't know what was going on with Dr. Hogback, but he's the lord of the mansion, the master surgeon, and a very, very famous doctor that Chopper had always heard of, who had gone missing like a few years back. Inside, they meet Sindri and Dr. Hogback. Hogback claims he's researching resurrection and is studying the zombies of the island. Nami doesn't trust him and plans to leave, but they're offered to stay the night. While showering, Nami is attacked by an invisible man who overhears their escape plan. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew enters the island to find their friends. Usopp's group encounters Hilden again, but when they refuse to stay, they're attacked by zombies and fall into a secret passage leading to Hogback's library. There, they discover photos of Sindri as a human actress who died 10 years ago. I love this panel of the painting coming to life and scaring Chopper. I actually think it's a very effective piece of horror within Thriller Bark, but everything surrounding it is just so goofy that it just ends up being funny. But it's actually a very effective piece of horror. Elsewhere, Luffy's group fights through zombies and encounters negative hollows, ghosts that drain willpower. They meet an old man whose shadow was stolen by a warlord of the sea named Gecko Moria, whom Robin recognizes. Luffy vows to find Moria to help Brook. So basically, Luffy wants Brook on his team. Brook doesn't have his shadow. Gecko Moria stole Brook's shadow, so Luffy's like, okay, 1 + 1 = 1. I find Moria, I beat him up, I get Brook's shadows back, he joins my crew and is my musician. So that's his goal. And then of course he also wants to find, along the way, he wants to find Nami and Chopper and Usopp. You know, along the way, he'll pick them up too. Usopp's group spies on Hogback, creating a zombie, but is attacked by a samurai zombie who speaks like Brook. Across the island, the night hunt begins as zombies awaken under the command of Absalom, the Invisible Man, and Perona, the Ghost Princess. Meanwhile, Moria himself awakens, revealing that Thriller Bark isn't an island at all, but the world's largest ship. I kind of spoiled that for you guys already, but this is the point in the arc where you actually realize that. Until then, you just think it's an island. I love both Absalom's and Perona's designs. We will get to why I love Absalom's design so much a little bit later. But also, let me just say, I love Absalom's stupid hat so much. I love his dumb hat so much. But how does the ship fly? It doesn't fly, you dork. The samurai zombie, Ryuma, defeats Nami's group easily. Hogback explains he's one of the zombie generals. Absalom sets out to awaken more, while Luffy's crew continues battling zombies. Sanji mysteriously disappears, but Luffy presses on. Yes, while they're fighting zombies trying to look for the other three and find Gecko Moria, Sanji goes missing, and Luffy's basically like, he'll be fine. We'll just keep going. The zombies are like, ooh, don't you want to find your missing crewmate? Where could he have gone? Don't you wanna find your crewmate? And Luffy's like, it'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. Absalom is... Absalom kidnaps Nami. Usopp tries to save her, but he's not able to do it. So Nami gets separated from Usopp and Chopper, and Absalom's gonna make her his wife. Absalom is confronted by Lola, a zombie warthog who wants to marry him. When she hears he plans to marry Nami, she swears revenge upon Nami. Usopp's group later meets her again and tricks her by pretending that Nami supports her romance, and also that Nami is a boy. She's like, I can't marry Absalom, I'm a man. And Lola's like, oh, sick. We're besties now. Lola reveals that the treasure is kept near Perona's quarters, allowing the trio to infiltrate her tower by hiding inside a stuffed animal zombie. So now Nami's like, okay, I escaped marrying Absalom, I made a bestie in this zombie, Lola. Now I found out where the treasure is, I've been through so much trouble, I might as well go steal all of their treasure before we get off the island. So Nami's got an agenda now. Usopp and Chopper are along for the ride. Brooke helps Frankie and Robin defeat a giant zombie spider monkey and explains that Moria steals people's shadows to animate zombies created by Hogback. Meanwhile, Moria captures Luffy and implants his shadow into the corpse of the ancient giant Oars. So basically, Moria has the shadow fruit. It allows him to extract shadows from people. He can then insert somebody's shadow into a zombie corpse that Dr. Hogback will fix up with his medical science to make, able to move around and be strong or whatever. And then that shadow's skills are now put into the zombie body. And the shadow zombie is loyal to its master. So basically he's creating like puppets with the skills of real living people who are 100% loyal to him and also 100% expendable. Yeah, Moria's powers are actually insane. Moria can also control and fight with his shadow, and he can switch between his real body and his shadow at any point in time. So very OP. And you also... there's something else you can do with the shadows that he extracts, but we'll get to it because it happens in this story. So yeah, his powers are really, really crazy. And also I forgot to put it in here, but at this time Zoro goes missing. So Zoro's missing, Sanji's missing, Luffy has been captured, and it's confirmed that his shadow has been stolen from him. And yeah, as some of you guys are saying, some crazy stuff starts getting brought up, because now we're talking about ancient giants, which are even bigger than your regular giants that are still around. And this giant Oars, there's a lot of lore and theories surrounding him that I won't get into yet. So just keep that in mind now. Yes, bigger than the Elbaf giants, yes. Runie, as a rare Thriller Bark fan, I implore you to keep cooking. Don't worry, I'm gonna keep cooking. I'm gonna cook and I'm gonna cook and I'm cook. I'm only on slide 13 out of 55, okay? We're on slide 13 out of 55. I'm cooking. Oars awakens and wreaks havoc, demanding meat. Amid the chaos, Nami is captured by Absalom, while Frankie and Robin reunite with Usopp's group and learn from Brooke how to purify zombies using salt. They return to the Sunny and revive Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. Alright, I skimmed over a lot of stuff that happened. So basically, Nami gets recaptured by Absalom again, because Absalom's still like, I'm gonna marry this chick. So he captures her again. And then Brooke shows up and is like, let me help you guys. This is what happened. I actually got attacked on the island. My shadow was stolen from me. And then because they can't use the shadow if the owner of the shadow is dead, they didn't kill Brooke. They just put him back on his ship and sent him out to sea. Now he's had to survive by avoiding the sunlight. So he's like, that's what they're gonna do to Luffy and to Zoro and Sanji if they've taken their shadows. They're just going to put them right back onto their ship, steal all their goods off the ship, and then send them back out into the Florian Triangle. Because they don't actually want to kill you, because if they kill you, they can't, like, your shadow will disappear too. Your shadow's like connected to your life force. So he tells them that that's what they're gonna do. And he also tells them that he actually attempted 5 years ago to get his shadow back. He went back to Thriller Bark, he infiltrated, he found out that the zombie's weakness is salt, that if you make them eat salt, the shadow will be like expelled from their body. And also, you learn that a lot of the zombies know him as the Whistling Swordsman and are actually quite afraid of him. It seems like he really did a good job of, like, he really got very, very close to being able to get his shadow back, but just wasn't able to do it. Also, at this time, we already know who has Brook's shadow. We know that it's Ryuma. This is the swordsman zombie that defeated Usopp and Nami and Chopper earlier in the story, because he acts and has the same abilities as Brook does. So once they take your shadow and they put it into a zombie corpse, that zombie gets all of your skills. So they already know who has Brook's skills. And they've also met zombies that kind of remind them of Sanji and kind of remind them of Zoro. So they're pretty sure, you know, Sanji and Zoro have also had their shadow stolen. So they go back to the Sunny. Sure enough, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji are there. And they revive them so that they can get the, you know, because they got to go back on the island. They got to get their shadows back, man. Hey, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, 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 raiders. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you had fun on the official channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Welcome in. Today, I am unabashedly talking about One Piece. It's Halloween month, so I thought, what better time to go in hard on everything that I love about the arc Thriller Bark. So right now, I am just going through the summary of the events of Thriller Bark and everything that happened. You haven't missed too much, but honestly, One Piece is like a breakneck speed, so if you've never, you might already be confused. To be honest, you might already be confused because so much happens so quickly. I'm not that far into the summary, but so much has already happened. FYI for raiders, you cannot escape. You must listen to Runie yap. I mean, no, you're not held hostage here. You can absolutely press X and leave. It's just that if you do, you're weak and lame. And if you want to be weak and lame, that's fine. Some people are. Some people like being weak and lame. I'm not going to judge you. It's just, you know, those are just the facts. It's just how it is. But you can absolutely go if you please. Listen to Runie's special interest. Isn't that what you watch streamers for? What's the point? What's the point of being into VTubers if you don't like listening to them go on and on about their little special interests? Isn't that the entire appeal, man? Brooke would find this stream very funny and humorous. Did you guys get that? Like humorous, like the bone? Brooke would definitely make that joke. Frankie reveals a question that he had asked Brooke earlier: why he continues living alone. Brooke shares that he made a promise to a baby whale named Laboon to return one day, a whale the crew had already met. Inspired, everyone pledges to help Brooke reclaim his shadow. So for a little bit of context, in an earlier arc to this, they met a whale, a very cute whale. Yes, Laboon! And Laboon had been waiting for a crew that left him behind at the entrance of the Grand Line, promising that when they basically sailed all the way around the world that they would pick him back up. But he was a baby at the time, so it was too dangerous for him to go with them. But they never came back. And Laboon, to this day, is waiting there for them, super, super depressed. And now we know who he was waiting for. It was Brooke's crew. And now Brooke's crew, unfortunately, all died. But because he had the revive fruit, Brooke is still alive as a skeleton. And he has to get his shadow back because he has to uphold his promise to Laboon and go meet him again. Yes, he's with Crocus. I know, this part blew my mind. I didn't see it coming. It hit me out of nowhere, and it was so emotional. Like, putting animals in something is cheating, man. It's cheating, because animals are so endearing, and you hate to see them suffer, especially because you know you can't fully explain something to them, you know? And Oda does that a lot with animals. Animals and children, man. He uses them in the most evil, wicked ways to to play with your emotions. I really like Thriller Bark personally. I loved Kuma so much. I named my cat after him. Also, the gag of Luffy pushing the zombie back into the ground, that literally is probably like in the top 5 most funny moments of One Piece for me entirely. And I have like a whole section on funny moments, so we'll definitely get to that. Because I think this arc, hands down, is the funniest arc. Wow. Brook has one of the saddest backstory. That's what I was saying earlier too, when I was rereading for this stream. I cried so hard at Brook's backstory again. It gets me every time. And yeah, seeing Kuma was amazing, but we'll get to all of that. We'll get to all of that. We're getting ahead of ourselves. There's just too much that happens. Meanwhile, Luffy confronts Moria. Oars continues rampaging, now using Luffy's power through Moria's control. Luffy is knocked unconscious, but later revived by Lola's crew, who reveal that living people can temporarily gain the powers of the shadows they consume. Luffy absorbs 100 shadows and returns to battle. So this is Shadow Luffy. I love Shadow Luffy. I can't believe some people don't like Shadow Luffy. Yeah, Nightmare Luffy, Shadow Luffy, whatever you want to call him. So good. So good to me. It's amazing. I love him. It's so cute. But, yeah, so basically, 2 more crazy things that Moria's power can do. Because the shadow is attached to the body, even though Oars doesn't have the Gum Gum fruit and is not a rubber man, because he has Luffy's shadow in him, he keeps trying to use attacks that would require him to stretch, right? Moria just manipulates Oars' shadow, and Oars' body has to match whatever shape the shadow is making. So by stretching out his shadow, he's able to make Oars stretch in the same way that Luffy can stretch. So now Oars is fighting with Luffy's skill set and his big ancient giant body, and he's even stretching like Luffy can stretch, which is actually insane. Absolutely insane. And this is the other thing that we find out, is that you don't just have to give a shadow that Moria extracts to a dead body, to like a puppet body. You can put it in a living person. And if you put it in a living person, they also absorb the skills of that shadow. And you can put multiple of them into a person. So like here, Luffy has absorbed 100 shadows and all the skills of 100 different people who had been captured by Moria, right? He's got a sword, man! He uses a sword! It's so cool! Now the catch here is, because it's a human that's alive, they can't maintain it. So he'll only be able to maintain it for a very short amount of time before the souls, like basically his body like rejects the shadows. But temporarily it's a power-up that he can use. So he decides to do this in order to be on a better playing field when trying to defeat Oars, which is being controlled by Moria. One Piece is wild. I would have never thought an anime would have had me crying over a boat, a whale, a guy in drag, and a guy in diapers. Literally. I know I've told this story before, but for those of you who have maybe not heard it, I read... Oh my god. I read the part that happens with Going Merry on a plane in the middle seat between 2 strangers and bawled my eyes out. I mean, I One Piece cried, you guys. Snot, tears, sobbing, heaving, just in between 2 strangers. Why? I didn't know it was gonna happen, you guys. I didn't know. Like, I didn't see it. It's exactly like they're saying. I could never have guessed that I would cry that hard over a boat. I did not see it coming, man. I didn't see it coming, and it destroyed me. Absolutely destroyed me. I couldn't pull it together. It was almost as bad as when I saw Up in movie theaters, but not quite. Speaking of One Piece, I should thank you. I don't often watch your streams, but I saw one near the beginning of this year. Your passion for it made me want to watch it, currently on the Punk Hazard arc. Oh my gosh! Yay! I'm really glad that you're enjoying it. That's amazing. That's why I became a VTuber. I've told you guys this. I became a VTuber because I want influence. And I want to be able to influence other people to like the same things that I like, so that I can talk about them more. Now, actually, you're doing more than me because I've never watched it. I've actually only ever read One Piece. So that's probably something I should have clarified at the beginning of this. I'm specifically talking about Thriller Bark manga because I've never actually seen it. I've only seen like some scenes here or there. I've been seeing this stuff about book talk and getting into One Piece, and it is cracking me up. People are making really funny jokes. Man. This darn manga has had me in serious tears at work at least 3 times. I would have never imagined before starting reading it. I know, because it's so goofy, man. And it can just make you laugh and be so dumb, and then it can hit so hard. It's so good. All right. We're almost through the summary. The Straw Hats combine their strength to bring down Oars and Moria. Moria, desperate, absorbs 1,000 shadows but loses control. Luffy defeats him, releasing the stolen shadows just before sunrise. The crew celebrates, but their relief is short-lived. Another warlord, Bartholomew Kuma, appears. He offers to spare everyone if they surrender Luffy, but they refuse. Kuma attacks non-lethally and, impressed by their resolve, strikes a deal with Zoro. He transfers all of Luffy's pain into Zoro, nearly killing him, but Zoro endures. Kuma departs after recognizing Luffy as Dragon's son. So, yeah, One Piece does this a few times, but I thought this one was particularly fun where you beat the big bad, but it's not over. It's not over. Something even crazier happens. Like, you get this one little moment of like, oh, okay. And then it's like, as Kuma comes in, and it's just an absolute monster. Kuma has the pawpaw fruit. It allows him to repel things. Pretty much anything that he wants to repel, he can repel it. Even like concepts he can repel. He's extremely powerful, very nonchalant. And we'll talk a little bit more about other stuff that you find out from him. But this whole scene is extraordinarily iconic, and we're going to talk more about it specifically later as well. This is just, you know, the brief overview of everything that happens. And I'm also realizing I kind of like brushed over some other things that we'll talk about in more detail later. But Robin and Chopper teamed up to defeat Hogback. Sanji wears down Absalom and almost defeats him, and then Lola and Nami team up at the end to defeat Absalom. And then Usopp on his own is able to beat Perona, which is an awesome fight. Wow. Trying to think if there's any other little mini fights I'm missing. I think those are like, oh, and then Zoro defeats Ryuma. But we'll talk a little bit about those later too. But all of those fights also happened before the culmination of this. A new enemy appears is the One Piece equivalent of enemy teleports behind you after your strongest attack from Bleach. I love Shonen, you're so right. Man, that just makes me want to watch Bleach. When is Bleach coming back, man? I need more 1,000-year blood wars so bad. When the crew awakens, they find Zoro injured but alive. Brook reminisces about his former crew, the Rumbar Pirates, and their promise to reunite with Laboon. Having lost his friends to poison years ago, he now finds new purpose with the Straw Hats. He joins their crew, ready to make good on his promise to Laboon someday. Before they depart, Lola gives Nami a Vivir card, leading to her mother, a powerful pirate. Luffy remembers Ace's Vivir card and notices it burning, a sign that his brother's life is in danger. And that is the cliffhanger at the end of Thriller Bark. Thriller Bark ends with the realization that Ace's life is in danger because the Vivir card that he gave to Luffy is burning. If you guys don't know what a Vivir card is, it's a little piece of paper that you can put a little bit of your life force into, and it can help you lead. Like, you can give it to someone that you care about, and they can use that card to monitor how you're doing health-wise, and also it will navigate them to you. Wherever you are in the world, it can help them find you. So Ace gave one to Luffy, but it's not looking good, is it? And that is the summary. So now we're gonna move on to iconic moments, because I think sometimes people forget how many incredibly iconic things happen in Thriller Bark. Like, so much really cool stuff happens in this arc. So many like classic One Piece moments happen. So this is the double spread panel. I love this panel so much. I love when Oda does a double spread. It's so beautiful. Where this is literally right after they've met for the first time, and Luffy's just like, hey, want to join my crew? And Brook's like, yeah, sure, why not? And this gets mirrored again like later on near the end. It's so beautiful. I love Sanji and Nami's faces. They're just like, what are you doing? And there's also a really funny panel after this where Luffy like brings him back to the Sunny and is like, okay, I recruited this skeleton, he's gonna be on the crew now. And Zoro's like looking at Nami and Sanji like, I sent you guys with him specifically so he would not do BS like this. And Nami and Sanji are just like, I know, I'm sorry, we failed. I know, we failed, I know. It's so good. Yeah, but he's the captain, man. Luffy can't be stopped. He's a monster. Ace has a cool design. I hope he makes it. There's only one way to find out. Bing sake. Wow. We're gonna talk about Bing sake. Somebody should get a Zoro Vivir card. They should. They really should. Also, yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Like I said, I've only read the manga, so it's very likely that I might mispronounce some things. It's like, you know, when you grow up reading, you know a bunch of words, but you don't know how to say them. I don't watch the anime, so I might pronounce things weird or different. Next iconic moment is the showdown between Ryuma and Zoro is so fun. It's so fun for like layered reasons. Like meta reasons. Ryuma feels kind of like a prototype to Zoro in a lot of ways, and Ryuma is also like a reference to an earlier manga that Oda had written that actually has been animated called Monsters. And you know, he's this legendary samurai, but then also within the story, Zoro has just broken one of his swords. He's a three swordsman man. He needs another sword. And he sees the sword, Shusui, that Ryuma is wielding. It's a black blade. This is not the first time you see a black blade. The first time you see a black blade is Mihawk, because Mihawk has one. But a black blade is basically a sword that's been embedded with so much hockey that it's just become extraordinarily powerful, right? And so Zoro immediately clocks this sword. He sees Ryuma and is like, that sword, it's mine. I like it and I'm taking it. But what also makes this fight between Zoro and Ryuma so iconic is like, it's the swordsman way, you know? Like in One Piece, there are people who use swords and then there are swordsmen. And Zoro is a swordsman through and through, and he just has so much respect for Ryuma, and he recognizes that he's just fighting Ryuma's corpse. And he's like, man, I wish I could have fought you in your prime. Like, I wish I could have met you when you were alive and this was like your actual body and soul. And he has like so much respect for him, but they fight against each other all out. And to be honest, even his corpse almost gets the one up on Zoro, but Zoro does beat him in the end. Yeah, it's definitely a real recognize a real moment. And he ends up getting the sword. So this is actually, Thriller Bark is where he gets Shusui. So iconic Thriller Bark moment. Next iconic moment is my Ghost Princess Perona. I think about this panel lives rent-free in my head. I think about this all the time. When she makes herself so big like this. Okay, let me just say the entire fight between Usopp and Perona is iconic, and we're gonna talk about that a little later. But I just specifically love this moment so much. She is one of the best girls. You like giantesses? You guys know this, right? You guys know I like giant women. This is not a secret. You guys been knowing this, right? Oh, so yeah, I love this moment. I love this moment so much. And just the entire fight, like I said, is so good. Okay, another iconic moment. So they're fighting Oars, and of course Oars is using all of Luffy's powers, and he thinks that he's like gotten the one up on the crew, but then they all stand back up, baby, and they're ready to go, and they're like, if you're gonna be using Luffy's powers, you better not underestimate the power of his crew, man. This spread goes so hard. It goes so hard. They all look so cool. I love me some Straw Hats. Yeah, they're peak aura farming. They aura farmed before that was even a thing, man. Straw Hats invented aura farming. Next iconic moment is when Robin refuses to dock. Wow. So for context, they're fighting Oars, and Frankie gets this idea. He's like, okay, everybody, we're all gonna dock, and all the boys go along with it. All the boys go along with it, and then it's like, Robin, come on, you know, you're gonna be the left hand. And she's like, no, I find it embarrassing as a human being. And refuses to dock with them. It's so funny. Even Zoro does it, man. He's just like, listen, this one's for the foot bros. Right after this too, she's like, never ask me to dock again. Robin's so serious. She's so serious. She's like, don't ask me to dock again. Of course, Oars wanted to see it because Oars has Luffy's soul in it. So Luffy loves robots. Luffy would have been so into this. And that's also another funny moment is there's like a cockpit area that Hogback has like built into Oars' stomach for Moria to go in and control him. And when Moria gets in it and Oars realizes it, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm like a robot. That's so freaking cool, man. Because it's Luffy, and Luffy's just obsessed with robots. All right, next iconic moment, okay, is this. I put more panels on here because I just wanted the context, but it's specifically this panel of Moria lives. It's just embedded into my brain. It's so well done. You can just feel the desperation that he has. Like, this man has lost it. And I think it's at this point in the story that I realized, oh, Moria's been through some stuff. Yeah, he's got some serious PTSD. So I'll take this moment to talk a little bit about Moria. So Moria's whole deal is like, why should I have to do anything when I can just send my crew out to do it? My crew can just do it for me, right? And that's why he's creating this zombie army, this expendable army that can just go out, do all the work for him, and can die, and it doesn't really matter. What you realize is that Moria, when he was like a young whippersnapper, rookie pirate, you know, just like Luffy is at this point in the game, he went into the New World. He'd done a great job in the Grand Line. So he goes to the New World and he challenges Kaido. He challenges Kaido at Wano, which I can't say more on because it's spoilers for things that happen later. But for those of you who aren't caught up, just know that this matters. It's actually extremely relevant that he fought him at Wano, and there was heart in it, okay? He had really pure motivations. He goes to Wano, he tries to challenge Kaido, and gets absolutely annihilated. Every single member of his crew dies. He has to drag himself back into the Grand Line, and then he starts over. So that's why he's so insistent on having expendable crew. He doesn't actually want to have a crew that he can trust and rely on, because he's had that. He had a crew that he trusted. He had a crew that was very competent, and they all died. He lost all of them. And so now he doesn't want to do that anymore. He wants to become Pirate King by having the zombies do the work for him. It's all just like a trauma response. It's so sad when you think about it from that angle. There's so much more complexity. And like I said, there's things that I can't spoil, but there's things that we've learned recently in the manga that make this whole thing even more complex, dealing with like his relationship to Wano, which again, I'm not going to spoil, but it for those if you know, you know kind of moment right now. If you know, you know. And so that's why he's fighting back against Luffy so much here. And I think that's what's so great about this arc is this is one of those arcs where the Straw Hats, we're going to talk more about it later, but the Straw Hats work together incredibly well during Thriller Bark. They are genuinely like mind melding. They are boosting each other, coming up with ideas together, tag teaming. They all together as a combined effort take down Oars. It's an amazing showdown. We are going to get into that later because I love that. I love when you get that in Shonen. Shonen hates to do that. Shonen almost always separates everybody into one-on-one or maybe like 2v2 fights. And you don't get these like super complicated and intricate fight scenes where everybody's fighting together. But it was purposeful that Oda had to do it. He had to do it for Thriller Bark because at the core of the Thriller Bark story, it's about trusting and working together with your crew, which also ties into what happens with Zoro later on in the arc. But what I also think is so brilliant about this is foreshadowing for literally what happens to Luffy. Moria says, you are going to get into the new world and get your butt absolutely handed to you, and your entire crew is gonna die in front of your eyes. And while they didn't die, only by the grace of Bartholomew Kuma, he literally goes to Sabaody and gets absolutely annihilated and has to sit there and watch as every single one of his crew members are taken from him right in front of his eyes. Exactly what Moria tells him is going to happen is what happens to him. It's really, really great foreshadowing. And I also think that it's a really great arc to look back on, and Moria is a really great story to look back on because Luffy's lesson that he learns at this like low point of his life is not what Moria did, which is never mind, I can't rely on my friends. He does the exact opposite. He's like, I have my crew, I'm gonna rely on them even harder. I'm gonna work for them even harder, and next time I'll be able to protect them. He just sinks his ankles into the dirt and makes it happen. And that's why Luffy's the GOAT, man. That's why he's gonna be Pirate King, and Moria couldn't do it. But that's why I just think Moria as a villain is really nice. Like, he's funny and he's so stupid looking and the powers are so goofy and cool. But then there's also like a really like heart-aching story down in there too, which I just think is really, really cool. So I would also say this is an iconic moment with, you know, everything that happens between Moria and Luffy. All their conversations are just iconic. Next iconic moment is Kuma and Moria and the same room because to literally tell me why they are opposites. I will never forget getting to this panel and being like, what am I looking at? Like, what am I looking at? Top heavy versus bottom heavy. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But I love this panel. I love looking at the two of them. It just, something about it just scratches my brain in all these yummy, yummy, scratchy ways. They literally are. They're two halves of the hourglass. Chest bro versus leg bro. I don't know if it's leg bro. It's like butt bro, I guess. I guess that's leg day. I guess butt is part of leg day. I don't know what that section of Moria's body is. Hips. But yeah, iconic panel. Okay, two absolute bangers from out of Luffy's mouth, which, I mean, no shade to my boy, but he doesn't get a lot of bangers, okay? The rest of his crew, they're constantly spitting. Luffy's not usually the one spitting. Luffy, he's got the one-liners in this. He says, if it's a nightmare you want, dream it on your own, Moria. I'm not gonna watch it with you. He says, rubber always bounces back. It's cinema. It's cinema! What can I say? So good. I freaking love Luffy, man. Okay, it's time. It's time to talk about the iconic moment. Okay. We're talking about Kuma versus Zoro. I couldn't even decide. I just put all the panels up here. Hold on, I'm just gonna zoom in on it. We're just gonna go through this. So basically at this point in the story, Kuma's been like, I need to take somebody's head back, so I either kill all of you or you let me take Luffy and I won't kill the rest of you. Well, thank you so much for the tip, Bob Bobbyson, and congrats on a super rare. Super rare, great gacha pull. Basically, everyone's like, that's not happening, you're not taking Luffy. So he attacks everybody, but Zoro remains conscious. And Zoro's like, okay, fine. Why don't you have my head instead? I'm not the captain, but I'm still, you know, I got a name for myself. I got a bounty on me. So take me instead. And Kuma's like, you would die for Luffy? And this, I'm just gonna read what he says. Because I feel like it shan't be summarized, okay? The way I see it, that's the only way to save the rest of my crew. What good is ambition if I can't even save the life of my own captain? Luffy is the man who will become the king of pirates. I'm holding in the fangirl. I'm holding in the fangirl, but I'm about to fangirl out, okay? Zoro just is Zoro. Zoro is, man. I gotta keep it together. We're only on 29 out of 55 slides, okay? I still have work to do tonight. So then Sanji wakes up. Turns out Sanji survived the attack too. He's overheard this. He's like, nope. I'm not gonna let Zoro die. You should just kill me. Like, I don't have a bounty or anything. You don't have a clue of who I am. But like, I'm cool too, so you should take my head instead. Zoro literally, I didn't put the panel in here, but Zoro literally just tosses Sanji to the side. He's like, get out of here. It's not happening. He knocks Sanji right back out. And Kuma's basically like, you know what? You're right. Like, if I don't take you up on this deal, like, who am I to not take you up on this deal? So he's like, okay, but actually I'm gonna give you a little challenge. He's like, I'm gonna kill you in a creative way. But what we really know is that he's hoping that he doesn't die. So, like, slight spoiler, but Kuma's actually like a nice guy, right? So Kuma's like, let me do this. Let me give you a challenge. A gamble, yeah, a gamble. So Kuma has his special ability. He's able to repel anything, right? Like I said earlier, his ability is insane because he can even repel like concepts and stuff. So he extracts all of the pain and suffering that was in Luffy's body. Now remember, Luffy has absorbed 100 shadows and fought himself to exhaustion against Moria. So I mean, he's like gone through it, right? Kuma extracts all of the pain. He says, this is the sum total of anguish inflicted during his battle with Moria and his band. If you are truly taking his place, then you must accept his agony. You are near death yourself, so it will be impossible for you to withstand it, and you will die. Oh, did I? Oh, I didn't make a screenshot of it. Then, okay, I should have added a screenshot, because then he does this, like, thing where he just, like, takes a little bit of it. He's like, here, let me give you a little taste. Chick. He like flicks a little bit into Zoro, and Zoro's like screaming in pain. Yeah, I gave him a little sample so he knows what he's getting into. Oh my god. But sure enough, oh, this is him after. You can see him here. This is him after it. Like, he's already almost dead just from like a little piece of it. So then, I guess he doesn't want to die where everybody is. So Zoro's like, okay, well, let me change location so I can, like, go die in a private place. And then he absorbs all of the pain. And then Kuma is just like, dang, he is your son after all, Dragon, which has a whole bunch of weight for stuff that happens later on in Egghead, like when you learn about Kuma and his backstory with Dragon and all of that I won't get into now. But just know that this is extremely lore relevant. You have exceptional friends. Like I said, it's the theme of the arc, man. It's the theme of the arc. And then, after everybody wakes up, Sanji remembers what's gone down, right? So Sanji goes running. He's like, where is Zoro? Because he thinks Zoro's about to be dead. And he finds Zoro standing up. Remind you, the first little taste of it had him on the ground. Zoro, after taking all of it, standing up. And Sanji's like, what happened? And then one of the most iconic moments in all of One Piece, certainly for me, the most iconic Zoro moment in all of One Piece. He just says, nothing. Nothing happened. It's cinema. It's cinema. And that's Thriller Bark, babes. How can you rank it low? How can you rank it low? It's Beam. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing happened. Exactly! Exactly! Anyways, absolute GOAT energy. So a lot of really cool stuff. All of that is to say that like a lot of really cool stuff happens in Thriller Bark. Oh, we still have an iconic moment. I think this is the last one I had. Of course, this is when Brook officially joins the crew. We get another beautiful spread of him and Luffy. Luffy sitting on the top of the piano like that is just... It's just imagery that's burnt into my brain once again. That's why I have to call it out as being iconic. And Brook officially joining the crew. When any of the members join, it's just such a beautiful moment. Runie is so based. Thriller Bark is amazing. It's amazing! Thriller Bark is based, man! You guys can't see it, but I'm just like shaking my hands in the air. I should have done this stream in 3D so you guys can see how much I'm wiggling around. Anyways. There are some iconic moments. Oh my gosh, there's more iconic moments. I can't even remember what I made. Okay, I think this one really is the last moment. This might not be iconic to everybody, but I really like Zoro, as you guys know. So I love this moment between Zoro and Brook. And also, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry when I talk about it. So we're gonna talk more about Brook's backstory later, but basically Brook's entire crew, the Rumbar Pirates, died. They're from West Blue, and the island that Moria has integrated into his ship, the Thriller Bark, is also from the West Blue. So the crew get together to surprise Brook. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. They get together and surprise Brook by building this beautiful grave memorial and burying all of his dead crewmates. And they do it on Thriller Bark because that's soil from their homeland. It's soil from the West Blue. So they figure that this will be like a good resting place for them. And they build like this beautiful, like with the mast from the ship. And see, I'm getting emotional. Okay, so Brook is sitting there and reminiscing and feeling grateful. And then Zoro comes and he leaves like the broken sword and says a moment, or like takes a moment to respect Ryuma, who he fought and took Shusui from, and like recognizes him as like a legendary swordsman. And then he was passed out when Brook joined, so this is when Brook gets to be like, you know, I'm on the crew now, Zoro. And like Zoro just so, they just have this adorable moment where Zoro's like, oh man, your luck's pretty bad then, because crew's, you know, it's quite a handful over here. But Brook is just so happy to be on. You can tell that Zoro is actually all in on this as well and has already accepted Brook, and is beautiful. It's just a beautiful moment. I love these little like tender moments that you always get at the end of arcs. And there's just so much tenderness at the end of Thriller Bark. It's so good. First rule of Zoro Club is that we don't talk about what happens in Zoro Club. Exactly. This wasn't in the anime, really? No way. Man, I love this moment. Okay. Okay, that officially ends iconic moments. Now we're going on to funny moments. These are just, the whole arc is really funny. I just wanted to highlight a few moments that like genuinely made me laugh out loud. Because as you guys know, it's actually pretty easy to make, like, it's pretty easy to make me think something is funny. I don't feel like I have like a really, like a hard sense of humor to crack. But what I will say is that it actually is hard to, in general, make me laugh out loud. Like if I'm reading something, even if I think it's really funny, I might not laugh out loud. If you actually make me like bust an audible laugh, you know it was funny, okay? And so I picked out a few moments that like actually made me laugh out loud. What did I say? Okay, so the first moment is this one, where in the Thousand Sunny, which is their new ship, Frankie has just joined the crew, so they're all like enjoying the new aspects of the ship. Frankie has built like this little aquarium where they can keep fish that Sanji can cook later. And Usopp and Luffy are just going crazy. They're catching everything and throwing it in there. So they catch this shark and they put it in, and then the shark eats all the other fish. And Luffy and Usopp are like, huh? Sanji's so mad. This is very good. I also love this moment. Okay, so Robin and Frankie are fighting this spider monkey zombie. And And Frankie's all like, wow, you figured out like this one part of our plan. And then Robin's like, wow, you have those really large ears of yours. Like, they must be good for gathering information. And then the spider monkey's like, huh? What was that? Frankie's like, they're just for show. You guys are gonna get a sense for my sense of humor tonight. This is the kind of thing that gets me. This gets a little chuckle out of me, you guys. I like this kind of humor. One Piece does this a whole bunch. A whole bunch. It's probably a really big reason I like One Piece. These little, like, quick, funny moments, I live for them. I eat them up. Next thing that always makes me laugh is seeing Absalom's face on the freaking lion. Okay, so this is why I love Absalom's design so much. Is if you guys remember, Absalom has the face of a man, but then just like the bottom third of his face is a lion. And Nami near the beginning spots this abomination that is mostly lion. You realize that this is literally Absalom's face. But I also think this moment is really funny because she sees this like out the window of the carriage. She freaks out. Usopp's like, what is it? What did you see? So she draws him a picture. He's like, as if. And I love the little picture she drew. It looked like this. So good. It's so good, you guys. It's not the human version of a Labubu. Shh. Stop the Labubu hatred, okay? Be nice to Labubu. Have we seen the iconic giants yet? Why do you guys keep bringing that up? Doesn't that happen before Skypiea? Isn't it a trick of the light and they were actually seeing the people in the sky? Both before Skypiea. Okay, I think that it must be like on the cutoff between like what's actually considered Thriller Bark, because I just reread all of Thriller Bark and it ends like technically by chapter after they look at Ace's Vivir card, and that had not happened yet. So I think what you're thinking of, if it does happen after this, must actually happen at the start of the next arc and not actually in Thriller Bark. So, because it wasn't in the chapters that I reread. Therefore, it is irrelevant. Shoo with you. Shoo. We have enough giants in this arc. Alright. Oh, here's the moment where Nami pretends that she is a man. And I also read something online a little while ago. And it was that Nami, apparently in Japanese, when she claims to be a man, she starts using speech patterns very similar to Bon Clay, because Bon Clay is the only Okama that she's ever met. Which is such a cute detail that is completely lost in the English translation, unfortunately. I'm not sure how they would have done it in the first place, but it's like lost. And then I love that Chopper's like, wow, so Nami really was a man this whole time, even though like 2 seconds ago he saw her naked in the shower. Like, he literally just saw her naked. Those little eyes are eyes that have seen Nami butt naked. And he's a doctor! Chopper is so adorable. I love him. Chopper has some really good moments in this arc. Which laugh is your favorite so far? And Have you heard them from the anime? So I have gone and watched like compilation videos to hear everybody's laughs. I really like Brooke's laugh. I actually really like Moria's laugh. We did this on stream like not long after I debuted actually. I really like Brooke's laugh and Moria's laugh. I like Perona's laugh. It is ironic that they're all from Thriller Bark, but I promise that's just a coincidence. But those, yeah, actually are probably my top 3. Top 3 laughs. Oh, this moment is so good. So Brooke keeps making puns and jokes about being a skeleton. So he says, please don't shout at me in public like that. I might lose face. But I'm a skeleton, so I don't have a face. Yo! Get it? Another skull joke. And Frankie is about ready to kill him. And Robin goes, stop it. He's already dead. This is why I love Robin. I love Robin so much. Robin's comedic timing is just god tier at all times. And I love Brooke's jokes too. This is when they go to wake them up on the ship. They're all passed out after having their shadows extracted from them, and they can't get them to wake up. And so Usopp screams, look, there's a beautiful female sword master carrying lots of meat. And then all 3 of them immediately wake up. So good. Beautiful female, meat, sword master. Rebecca? Did Rebecca have meat? I think she might have at some point given Luffy some meat. So this may be foreshadowing. Yeah. Chopper's so done with them. I also think Chopper's so cute with his cross. Early on in the arc, because they get spooked of ghosts, Usopp gives him the cross to wear, and he like wears it for so long. He's so cute. Okay. We're just gonna go through these panels. The fight with Perona and Usopp is genuinely so funny, and it's also an amazing fight for Usopp, because Usopp is really using his intelligence and ingenuity to defeat Perona. It's just, we love to see it. It's so good. So she's trying to attack him with the negative hollows. She's like, he must actually be dodging it. But he's not affected by the negative hollows. She's like, what are you doing to defend yourself? He's like, I'm not. I'm just already extremely negative. And then she gives us a classic One Piece Ineru face. But my favorite part about this interaction is that immediately after, she just feels really bad for him. She's like, it can't be. No human is immune to the negative hollows. Humans are supposed to be positive, as long as they're alive. But this guy, cheer up. And he's like, don't try to cheer me up. And basically he has like a sick, cool moment where he's like, you guys can't, you're weak to her powers. I'm not, so I gotta handle this. You guys go save Nami, right? So he stands up to face her. I also love this part where the negative ghosts were out negative, and all the ghosts she sits through them are like, it gets me again! He says, listen, all of you. When it comes to thinking about things pessimistically, no one can beat me. I relate to this. He's so confident about his terrible character trait. Me? Usopp, I see you. Usopp, I feel you. That's me too. I am also extremely confident in my most negative character traits. It's the one thing I can trust about myself, okay? If nothing else, I know the bad parts of me will continue being bad, babes. And then I love this panel. Life isn't all that bad. She's just trying so hard to cheer him up. It's so funny. Anyways, that whole fight is just amazing, and you should read it. If you've never read it in its entirety, you should go and you should read it. I also love this little moment where Robin is imagining Kuma as a little cat when she finds out that he has the pawpaw fruit. Frankie's like, how can you say that with a straight face? I ate the pawpaw fruit and became a pawpaw-armed human. Pawpaw. Meow. That's why Robin cracks me up. Low-key one of the funniest characters in the entire show. And then... now we get to talk about some lore drops. So this one I'm gonna have to keep vague because it's in reference to things that are currently happening within the manga. But suffice it to say that it felt really bizarre. It felt so bizarre to see these characters, especially Captain John after the last chapter. To see their zombies here on Thriller Bark. If you know, you know. But yeah, with current events going on in One Piece, it's becoming more and more relevant that these corpses were here on Thriller Bark with Moria. And it's crazy. It's crazy to see them here. But in a very fun way. And I really like Captain John, so I was excited to see him and it was very fun. But I don't want to spoil things too much, so I'll just leave it at that. You're not mentioning the Straw Hat docking scene? I already did, babe. You're gonna have to go back and watch the parts of the stream that you missed. I did a whole talk about it. You missed it. You gotta remedy that. Okay, next lore drop is the stuff about oars. So I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but there's a lot of really crazy theories about oars because he's an ancient giant. So Moria found him in the land of the ice, quote unquote. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What is the land of ice, Moria? We know that he can't be talking about Punk Hazard because that hasn't been turned into the land of ice yet. Okay, the reason this is super relevant is because oars adapts to Luffy's personality really, really quickly. And it makes a lot of people feel suspicious. The canon explanation for it is like, oh, well, Oars' body is so much bigger than Luffy's shadow. So it'll take his shadow's personality a little bit longer to fuse into the body and kind of start to meld away, right? That's the canon reasoning. But who knows? Because we've also seen a frozen straw hat. Not only just a frozen straw hat, but we've seen a giant frozen straw hat. With which comes the theory that Oars might have actually been Joy Boy in the past. And that might have been his frozen hat. And that might also have something to do with his legends as a continent pooler, because we do know that there was a really big island that was a threat to the rest of the nations and was like a high-tech island. So it's not 100% confirmed, it's just a very popular theory, but I think it's a very fun theory to think about. And just everything with the ancient giants, you know that we're going to be getting more lore drops about this going forward, especially being an Elbaf arc right now. One of the things about the ancient giants is that they have horns, whereas the more modern giants, like Elbathian giants, for the most part, don't have horns. The ones that do have horns, it's like passed down traits from ancient giants. And we also know that eventually King Harold, the former king of Elbath, cut off his horns as if to separate himself from his ancient history. And I have a lot of theories about that I can't get into because I don't want to spoil stuff like that recently happening in the manga. But basically, there's a lot of implications for things that could have happened here. And I think as we go forward in this story, we're going to get more context on the ancient giants and on Ors as well. The other thing that I almost forgot to mention is we know that Ors died from exposure to the elements because Chopper, doing his little doctor mind studies, realizes that he has a weak point on his arm and that he had been suffering from frostbite, I believe it is, and could tell that he had died from exposure to the cold. So, but yeah. And he was from 500 years ago, so we're talking Void Century. So. He doesn't do an autopsy though. Also, wait, I'm questioning myself now. Was Void Century 800 or 500? I always get it mixed up. Was it 800 years ago or 500 years ago? Oh, 800 years ago. Oh, so he would have been after that. I mean, he's also an ancient giant, though, so he totally could have been alive. We don't really know. We know the giants lived to be about, like, 300. But I'm going to guess that the ancient giants probably lived even longer than that. Yeah. All right. Next, a lore drop. This is something that even I, until very recently, for reasons I won't go into because there's spoilers, all I will say is that this little lore drop recently became relevant, and I had completely erased this from my mind. I completely forgot that this was a thing. But before Brook actually joined the Lumbar Pirates, he was a, what? I'm gonna say exactly what, he was a leader of a battle convoy in a certain kingdom. What the heck does that mean? In a certain kingdom, he was the leader of a battle convoy. He served his kingdom's raider squad. Whatever that means. So there's this whole story to Brook before he even became a pirate. That's very interesting to me, and we will very likely be learning more about that pretty soon. This is becoming very relevant because of stuff that's happening. So, anyways, yes. Next. Okay, you might say this doesn't count, but I say it does count as a Thriller Bark lore drop because it happened in Thriller Bark. Sort of. So the cover story that followed Ineru was happening during Thriller Bark. And while in Thriller Bark, we get chapter 472, where we see the paintings on the moon depicting the Skypeans and Birkins leaving the moon to go to Earth, which is a crazy bit of lore that I tend to forget and just like absolutely hit me like a rock. Like, what? I still don't even understand how this is going to be relevant or exactly why, but there was a lot of lore drop in this, and in this specific panel, I feel like I could stare at it for hours and my mind will just go. I don't know where we're going with this. But very interesting piece of information that you do find out in Thriller Bark. Another huge lore drop that you get in Thriller Bark is about Vegapunk. So, and pacifistas. This is where we first learn that Kuma is a pacifista and that he was created by Dr. Vegapunk. And that becomes extremely relevant later in the story during Egghead, as you guys current with the anime will know exactly what I'm talking about. That all started right here in Thriller Bark. Do you guys see what I'm saying? This arc is so relevant. It's so relevant. It's so tied to everything else. It doesn't look like Vegapunk. Listen, I wish that's what Vegapunk looked like, okay? I really wish. I really do. I hate his design so much. I love it. I hate it. You guys know how it is. Okay, now we're just gonna go through this. We're gonna go through this. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what I was talking about. This is just like a little taste. This isn't even all of it. This is like a really nice fight scene where you get to see the Straw Hats like all working together. So they're all trying to take down Oars. They're like throwing rocks at him. So Frankie has these nunchucks that he's made out of pillars. So he lends them to Zoro. Zoro is gonna start to attack him, but Robin deflects his left hand to give him an opening. And then after she deflects his left hand, Usopp uses like his sticky, his oil star triple shot to like make it slippery. So then he slips and is falling. That gives Zoro the opening. Then Sanji gives Zoro a boost with a little kick and uses the opening to get a crazy attack on Oars. And then while he's falling, Frankie and Chopper team up together to punch him in the face. And then he's balancing, teetering on one leg. So Sanji comes in. Oh, sorry, this is a repeat panel. And then is able to basically knock him off of balance. So using the power of all of them, they're basically able to make him like fall on his face. And that's what I'm talking about, okay? That's the kind of stuff that I love to see in Shonen that they never give you. They never want to give this to you. I think because it's harder to choreograph and draw. But I love moments like this. And like I said, this literally isn't even the only one. Thank you for the super. Thank you. Without Thriller Bark, we don't get Runie's sassy shoulders and crazy eyes in her cover Future Island 11 out of 10 arc. See? See what I'm saying? I need to take that video down. I think it's been up long enough. I think it's time to erase it. Who's listening to it now? It's so old. Who's listening to it now? Nobody's listening to it anymore. Stop opening it! Stop! It's not good. It's bad. It's embarrassing. What do you mean you did earlier today? Why? I told you guys I'm evil. It is an evil woman's prerogative to erase history. Leaving a do not delete comment right now. You think that'll stop me? No, I don't hate you. Yeah, I'll create my own Void Century. I will. I'm not afraid to. It'll be my whole first 5 months of streaming. Send it straight into the void. Dang, I am evil. I'm like the world government. That's crazy. Louis gonna have to come beat me up, man. Next. Oh, I just wanted to highlight, and this is something actually that my coworker highlighted to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. I didn't clock why I was enjoying it so much, but this is exactly why. It's because Oda does this really brilliant thing with the formatting of Thriller Bark where we first get exposed to every portion of the island through the eyes of the 3 most scaredy cat characters, the coward trio. So that's Chopper and Usopp and Nami. And then after that, we get introduced to everything from the rest of the crew's perspective, which is all the crew people who just could not be bothered by any of this. They just think it's kind of funny and exciting, maybe mildly annoying. And so you get these really nice dynamics where Cerberus was so scary when you first meet them. And then Luffy looks at Cerberus and is like, oh, I'm gonna tame that one. And then you can also see the difference in how they respond to like the creepy zombies all around. Luffy literally invites them to be part of the crew. Like he sees the unicorn and the tree zombie and he's like, hey, you wanna join my hey kids, you wanna join my crew? Whereas Nami and Luffy, and Usopp and Chopper were like genuinely losing their minds. And then of course we have one of the best moments of the entire arc. It's so good. Where when Nami and Chopper and Usopp meet the zombies, they're horrified. They literally get chased into the mansion. When Luffy meets the zombie, he just pushes it back into the ground. Like, shut up, that's so funny. I almost put this in funniest moments, but I didn't want to bring it up twice. It's the comedic timing is just... It's so good. It's my favorite gag. It's like I said earlier, it's one of my favorite gags in the entire series. It's so freaking good. It's so fun. It's so funny. I wish I was this funny. This is what I aspire to as a writer. I would want to be able to make scenes that funny. It is so funny to me. I have seen it done in the anime. Even though I haven't watched most of the anime, I have seen it done. And I think they brilliantly adapted it. It's so funny. But I love that it works just as well in the manga. I also just wanted to highlight some of the cool powers that you get to see. We get to see Robin do her wings for the first time. She also does the cool net thing. I don't believe this is the first time that she's done it, but I just like when she does it. It's cool where she turns hands into nets. We get to see the the negative hollows, which I love. I love seeing them act on Zoro too. They're so good. We get to see Chopper being a real doctor. Chopper clocks that oars can't feel pain and is like, you know what? I'm gonna use my doctor brain to ruin Orz's life. So he's like, okay, Orz, you can't feel pain. I can see that you have a weakness here in your right arm. So we're gonna focus all of our attacks on this. And then later, when it gets even more dire, he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna break Orz's spine. So he starts telling all the Straw Hats, he's like, okay, we need to do this, and then you need to do this, and then we need to put pressure here, so we can just absolutely shatter this zombie's spine. Like, Chopper was going so hard. I also love this moment where Chopper is like, he's like wrestling with Dr. Hogback and he's pissed. Chopper gets so mad at Hogback because he respected Hogback as a doctor at first. Then when he realizes that Hogback is just a scumbag, he feels so like righteously angry at him and he's about to like absolutely destroy him. And then he's like, Robin, let's make this even worse. And so Robin like lifts him up by his feet with like a bunch of feet underneath him, so he goes even higher in the air before he like drops Hogback on his face. It's so good. We also get to see Usopp being super, super clever. So if you guys remember, there are these things called like dials. And there's impact dials that they got from Skypiea. And what you can do with an impact dial is that it can absorb the impact of something and then expel it later. So he has this very clever moment where Perona's about to make one of her hollows explode on him, and he absorbs the explosion impact into his dial, and then later he uses that against her to make it seem like he's got these crazy explosive powerful attacks. Absolutely ruses Perona upwards and down because she's like, Usopp is so strong, he's insanely powerful, he's lifting this huge hammer, he can do whatever he wants. She gets so scared that she literally passes out and starts foaming at the mouth. It's just Usopp at his absolute best. It's so good. We also get a brilliant Nami moment when she comes in with her tempo, her So she kind of comes in clutch at a last moment when she's escaped from Absalom, and she runs and she hits Ors with this and electrocutes him. And it's just, I love getting to see each member of the crew have their little shining moments. I would say everybody has a really good moment in this. The character that's lacking maybe the most is Sanji. But he still has some really cool moments too. But maybe he maybe got a little snubbed in this arc. I think because his big battle was against Absalom, and it was just really... The thing is he didn't even beat Absalom. Nami beat Absalom. Sanji just like, you know, he loosened the pickle jar lid, and then Nami finished him off. So, yeah, it wasn't his arc, but everybody else got a little bit of better moments than he did. I wish he would have gotten like a little bit more, but I think we wasted maybe a little bit too much screen time with him just being jealous over the invisible fruit, which is a gag that, I mean, it's funny, I guess. It's just not that funny, you know? Do you guys want to feel sadness? I mean, Sanji did have kind of this stuff at the end with Zoro, but I think that this is kind of like a little example of how the series kind of goes forward for Sanji, in my opinion, which is, yeah, Sanji has his moments, but they're always paired with Zoro moments, and the Zoro moments are always hands down better. Like, because he can't do it like Zoro does it. He gets overshadowed over and over and over again, man. I think Sanji's at his best when he's not just like fighting a big bad. Zoro's at his best when he's just fighting a big bad. Sanji is not, you know? So yeah, he has like a little moment at the end of this, and then Zoro's literally like piped down and just like knocks him out. And then Zoro steals the day. So I think Zoro is better at fighting, but Sanji is better for character moments. And we still do get some good character moments with him post time skip for sure, but I just feel like they should be highlighted more, you know? That's just my opinion. But I don't hate Sanji. Stop saying I hate Sanji. I like Sanji just fine. I like Sanji a lot. I like all the Straw Hats. I'm not a Sanji hater, by any means. All right, are you guys ready to get sad? Okay, my plan originally, I just put all the panels. I just put all these panels in here. And my original idea here was to end it by just going through all of Brook's backstory. But I literally think that I will cry. So instead of like actually going through and reading all of it, I think I am just gonna like summarize it for you guys because it really is gonna make me cry. On the topic of teamwork, that's how I always wished they would bring down Kaido before the Wano arc actually started. An Ora-style team-up would have been so good in my opinion. I 100% agree with you. I really, really, really wish they hadn't split up as much as they did on Wano. It saddens me deeply. I just like it when they all work together, and it's hard to get that. It's not just a One Piece problem, it's a shonen problem in general. So, alright. Dang, when Runie said she didn't hate us, she really rused us. I don't hate you. I love it, a lunatics, huh? I love it, a lunatics. Mwah. So. Y'all. So basically, Brook's backstory, he joins the Lombard Pirates, and they are all musicians and singers. And he's not the captain at first. He's just, you know, a member of the crew. The captain is Captain Yorkie. Yorkie ends up getting... Well, okay, first they meet Laboon, obviously, the baby whale. They have a great time with the baby whale, and Laboon in particular takes a liking to Brook and his afro and his music. When they go to enter the Grand Line to accomplish their pirate dreams, they really want to sail across the entire world and then make it back to the other side of the Grand Line entrance. But Laboon is just a baby, and they're afraid that he's going to get hurt. And so they leave him behind at the entrance with the promise to come back for him. But they don't get very, very far into the Grand Line before Yorkie comes down with an illness. Now this might end up being very relevant later, and this is also something that until recently I had forgotten. Yorkie leaves and Brook becomes captain. So Yorkie very well might be alive. He might have succumbed to his illness. We actually don't know what fate became of Yorkie. I don't want to go too much into it because it's heavy spoilers for what's currently happening right now, but it's totally possible that his old captain could still be alive, and that might end up being relevant. But in his place, since he was too sick to carry forward, Brook becomes captain. He makes a little bit of a name for himself. They're all having a really grand time. And then one day they get attacked by another pirate crew, and they used poisoned weapons, and it's just a massacre. Everybody gets attacked with the poisoned weapons, and they're all dying. But the thing is about the Lumbar pirates is they're all musicians, right? So, yes, it was 80 years ago, but people live really, really long in One Piece. Like, it's not unreasonable. Wait, how old is, like, Dr. Kureha again? Like 120 something? People live for a really long time. So they're all gonna sing while they die. So that's the scene that you see here is basically Brook is like, you know what? Why don't I record on this tone dial all of us singing one of our favorite songs to sing so that if I get revived by my revive fruit, I can still go to Laboon and I can play this recording of us all singing one last time together. And so all of the crew, they start singing Binks's Sake, which I should also have put this in the lore drop section because this song is very, very lore relevant. The lyrics of it are said to predict everything about One Piece. I don't want to get too into it because that could be like a whole stream in and of itself. So yeah, he's got it in his head. He keeps the tone dial in his head. So they start recording it and they keep singing it and he's thinking about Laboon, and Oda just does this absolutely diabolical thing where he overlays this with scenes of like Brook alone on the ship and like by all the dead bodies of his crewmates while they're singing the song for like the last time, and he's playing it in real time for his new crew, the Straw Hat Pirates, on the tone dial where he has it recorded. And everyone starts dying throughout the song one by one, and it becomes a small little band, and then it becomes a trio, then it becomes a duet, and then it becomes a solo. And the last person dies, and he's left on the ship all by himself. And this is why we love Brook, because even in all of that loneliness and all of that tragedy, he still remained positive. And when he finally came across the Straw Hats for the first time, he was just happy to be around other people and have a good time. And the reason that he stayed positive, because like Frankie even tells him, he's like, dude, if I came back as you and everyone I knew is dead and I had been alone for 80 years and I was a skeleton, I would kill myself. Frankie's literally like, I would kill myself. Like, why are you sticking around? And Brook's sticking around because he's a man that keeps his promises. and he made a promise to Laboon that he would go back to him. And with any little chance that Laboon is still waiting for him there, he knew that he had to tough it out, and he had to keep living, and he had to stay positive. And also because he's already dead. Yo, I wish I could do his laugh, man. Anyways, Brook is so good. I love Brook so much. I don't know how Oda made me love a stinking skeleton as much as I do. I get so emotional thinking about Brook. He's just such an awesome character. I love him. I even love his looking at girls' panties gag. It's funny, okay? It's funny. It makes me laugh, okay? Maybe there's a little 12-year-old boy still inside of me, but it gets me every time. And so after reminiscing on all of that in his past, he decides that he wants, so this is the moment where he decides that he wants to become a part of the Straw Hats. And he says, you know, if you've been waiting there for, what does that say, 50 years, can you be patient for 1 or 2 more? I have my pride as a pirate. You're waiting for us to return to you after circling the globe, and I intend to keep my promise and return from the right direction. So he joins the Straw Hats, and he's going to see Luffy become Pirate King, circle the globe, and return to Laboon from the right direction. And that is the last slide that I have for you guys. That is my defensive Thriller Bark. I think that Thriller Bark is a beautiful arc that really focuses on teamwork and cohesion and trust and keeping promises, keeping positivity. And you've got all of the Straw Hats, and you've got Brook, who are able to do that, juxtaposed against Moria, who is unable to do that. You've got so many iconic moments, so many lore drops, amazing fights. It's hilariously funny, beautifully designed, with just fun and imaginative sets and zombies and characters. And like I said earlier, pretty much every Straw Hat gets really nice, satisfying moments where you get to see them use the skills that they're best at. It's just great. I think it's underrated by a lot of people. It's even possible that I've underrated it in rankings before. I'm sure I have. It's somehow when you get, because it's just been a while since we've been in it, that it can be easy to overlook. But I had so much fun going back and rereading this arc again. I think it's a masterpiece. I love it. I love Moria as a villain. You guys know I'm a little bit biased because I also just really like Perona, and I really like Kuma, and I really like Brook. So I really like Zoro. It's just a great arc. It's really great. So maybe there will be at least a few of you who thought, I don't know if I would rank Thriller Bark very high. Maybe I've made you rethink it a little bit. Or maybe you all already really liked it and we can just, you know, we can just gush together. But I hope you guys have enjoyed my Thriller Bark presentation. I don't hate Sanji, stop! Shh! Shut up. Good PowerPoint, boss. Thank you! I made it on my phone. On my lunch breaks. That's what I've been doing on my lunch breaks all week, has been making this PowerPoint on my phone. I figured out how to use Canva on my phone, you guys. It's over now. I can work from anywhere. Whoa, second super rare of the night. Thank you so much for the stream. It was a ton of fun. I'd love to see more in defense of or in review of One Piece arcs. I know Dressrosa gets some flack, or really any other manga. I just really love the Yab. I would love to go back through Dressrosa. I do think that I can't save Dressrosa at the end of the day, because I think that the reason most people dislike Dressrosa is because it drags. And that's something I can't defend because I didn't watch the anime. In the manga, what I can say is that I thought the pacing was really nice. It's not one of my favorite arcs of all time, but there's some really great moments in it, and I did enjoy it. And I felt like it was very like boom, 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 reading it. Now, I've not watched it, but I have heard that it is a slog to actually watch, and I think that's the main reason people dislike it. So I can't defend it because you guys know I wouldn't be watching it either. There's a reason I haven't watched One Piece, and it's because I actually really do dislike bad pacing in anime. That's the reason I tend to read manga in general, even with things that aren't One Piece, because there's just other shonen and other anime that I was like, this is dragging too much, I can't do this, and I'll just like switch to the manga. So I know if I tried to watch One Piece, it would probably make me want to crawl out of my skin. So I can't defend it in that way. That's why I'm not an anime watcher. So, but I'm hoping that when they animate the new One Piece, that a lot of the One Piece, that it will be improved. A lot of that will be improved, and the pacing will be a lot better. So. I remember not watching One Piece for literally 2 years when they were in the Dressrosa arc. I got back into it with a binge, and it still wasn't finished. Oh my, holy moly. Yes, the remake. So, okay, maybe some people don't know this. They are actually remaking all of One Piece. It's a project by Netflix, if I remember correctly, Wix Studio with Netflix. So, question mark, question mark, question mark. But I have high hopes that it will do a good job, right? So, wow. Oda says one straw hat will die. Which one do you think? Okay, so I think that was the Going Merry. So from what I understand, he made that quote from before Going Merry died. So I think what he was alluding to was the Going Merry. I don't think anybody else will die, and I'll tell you why. Because the time, like the moment for them to die, right? It would have to be like in a climatic moment. You wouldn't want to make it story-wise. You wouldn't want to make it before, or like, you wouldn't want to make it after Luffy's like king of the pirates and they've accomplished all their dreams, right? All of the Straw Hats that's dream can't be accomplished until then, I think are totally safe. So like Nami has to do the map of the whole world. She's not gonna die until she does the map of the whole world. I really strongly believe that Oda's not going to take any of their dreams away from them. Brook can't die. I mean, Brook's already dead. But Brook can't die until he meets Laboon, which isn't gonna happen until they've circumvented the entire globe. Sanji has to find the All Blue, which probably isn't gonna happen until the Red Line breaks, which is probably gonna be like a final battle showdown type thing. So I think he's safe. Zoro has to defeat Mihawk. That one could be a little up in the air depending on when Oda chooses to do that. So I think Zoro could be at a small risk of dying, but he's also such a fan favorite, I just can't see him doing it. But compared to the other Straw Hats I've said so far, maybe for him. Chopper wants to heal all illnesses. I don't see that happening before Luffy even becomes Pirate King. So I think Chopper is also safe. Now Frankie has pretty much already accomplished his dream. So Zoro and Frankie, I would say, are the iffiest on maybe they could die, maybe. And then Robin's gonna be safe because she wants to find out the secret history of the world, which is probably going to be at the One Piece, so I think she'll be fine. The story's gonna have already been wrapping up at that point. I think she'll be fine as well, so that she can accomplish her dream. Usopp, okay, Usopp's another one. He just wants to be a brave warrior of the sea. Yeah, Usopp, Frankie, Zoro, strongest contenders for maybe dying, maybe. Jinbei wants to see his people, like, brought to the surface, like liberate Fishman Island, right? I think that's gonna be really end game stuff, so I think he's also gonna be fine. That's gonna be like end things. So yeah, I think I've gone through everyone. I think those would be the three that are most likely, but I don't think any of them will. To be completely clear, I don't think anybody will. Oh well, okay, that's a lie. I actually think that Luffy could die. I would not be surprised at all if Luffy dies at the end of the series, but not the other ones. Any chance of Runie singing Think Sake? It made the last moments of the arc hit even harder in the anime, such a bittersweet song. You guys have asked for it a lot, but you know what's so crazy is that I actually don't, like, I have only heard it a few times because I didn't watch the anime. So I wouldn't be able to sing it from memory. I would have to go and learn the song. But if I listen to the song, it's gonna make me cry, which is why I haven't gone and learned it yet. Maybe at some point. You can call me a fake fan if you want. I'm a manga only, it's how it is. If you want me to learn it, you're gonna have to motivate me somehow. You have to motivate me somehow. I haven't even talked about Buggy this entire stream. This is my first Buggy mention, and the stream's like over. I'm wrapping up. Are you guys proud of me? I want you to say that you're proud of me for staying on topic. Such discipline, thank you. Yes, I'm very, very disciplined. I'm new here, but you were cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. See? See? Don't go corrupting the newbie and making them think that I'm not cool. Okay, don't listen to the hags in the chat, okay? The people who've been around, because they're gonna try to trick you into thinking that I'm not cool, okay? Don't listen to them. They're just old and grumpy. You're on the right track. I'm very, very, very cool. Thank you. Thank you for the gifted ear trumpet. Sorry, I just realized I had the stream muted. Wow. Well, then you just missed out on a peak stream talking about peak manga. Are you proud of yourself? Wow. Weird flex. You just had to break your streak by mentioning Buggy at the end still. Should have waited to tweet about him. Hey, you guys brought him up. You brought him up in chat, okay? I probably would have ended the stream without bringing him up. But you popped them in my little head with your own little fingers on your own little keyboard, so I don't want to hear it, okay? Blame yourself. Yep. As per usual, it's the Runetic's fault. As per usual. Your eyes lasered focused onto the B word. They do, though. They do. Also, I want you guys to know that I keep seeing fan art of Shanks dressed up as a vampire for Halloween, and his stinky butt would dress up as a vampire. I'm very disgruntled by this information because he just would. He would be a vampire for Halloween, and I hate him for it. Shanks, you're so Shanks. When I get him, Shanks. Got my eyes on you, Shanks. You better watch your back, Shanks. I hate Shanks. I love Shanks. I don't hate Shanks. I love Shanks. What are you talking about? I love the Shanks. Wow. Yeah, imagine being a vampire on Halloween. That's for you. Don't you start criticizing me. I'll cancel it. I'll cancel it right now. I'd rather go to bed instead of staying up probably until 2 in the morning finishing everything. Yamero! You better watch your mouth. Nah, I've worked too hard on it. I'm not going to. Being sake 100,000K special. Is that what you guys want for 100,000? That's easy, man. I'm getting off easy. Other girls have to show their feet. All I gotta do is sing Being Sake. Let's go. Runie is very cool. Thank you, ear trumpet. Thank you. Wow. Love it, Runie. You're so cool, and mommy for doing a cool 3D stream for us. Oh, really? Boy, that sure is nice to hear. I bet if I heard that a lot more, I'd never even dream of canceling such a stream. If only I heard such things more often. 75K being sake? You guys already said 100. Now you're lunatics. One moment I really love is when the Straw Hats who lost their shadows stand still as Luffy fights Moria. They have full faith that he'll win and get their shadows back before the sun kills them. And that actually is a crazy moment. And you see their faces like melting off in the sun. But that comes back to like the bodies being attached to the shadows, because the shadows make it back to their bodies in one piece. It forces their bodies to kind of like grow back, because their body has to match the shadow. It's a weird piece of lore, but it's very interesting. You're so cool, and mommy, you're the coolest mommy. Wow. Wow, I love to hear it. Wow. I said the thing. All right, you guys, I really do gotta wrap up the stream. But thank you guys so much for letting me yap and yap and yap and yap for over 2 hours about One Piece. It really is one of my favorite series in the world, and I really like it. And I'm glad that you guys either also like it or will put up with me talking about it. Either way, I appreciate it. And I had a lot of fun putting this together. And yeah, I might think about doing it for other arcs going forward. I would love to do it for Egghead, because Egghead is probably my favorite arc overall. It's just a really good arc. And I get to talk about Buggy in that one. I get to talk about Buggy a lot in that one. So I don't get the Egghead hate. Egghead is nothing but payoff. If you are into the lore, Egghead is just payoff, 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 payoff. And you are psycho if you're not eating that up. Like me. So, yeah. If we get a Seraphim clown, it's over for me. I want you to know, if we get a cute little baby Seraphim winged clown, it's over. It's over for me. I'm done. I'm gonna evaporate from cuteness. The cuteness is going to absorb my life force. It's done. I will never recover. I'm equally screwed if Doc Ock, or whatever his name is, uses the feminization disease on Crossguild. That's also going to be the end of me. Regardless, I hope that both things happen. Regardless, I accept both outcomes with an open heart. Because I, for one, am willing to die for my dreams. All right, I really do gotta go. I gotta go. Thank you guys for letting me. Thank you guys so much for letting me talk about One Piece for so much of your time tonight. If you are interested, I am in fact doing a 3D mini concert tomorrow. I'm really, really excited about it. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun. I've been singing, I've been dancing. I think it's gonna be a good time, and that's gonna happen right here on this channel at 8 p.m. tomorrow to celebrate Halloween. So if you have some time, I hope you will come and hang out with me then. Again, that's 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. But for now, it's bittersweet, but I must say farewell. Give glory to the runes, for my love and affection is forever with you. Bye-bye!